And we are live. Yeah, get your hand off your face.
I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hello, all you cool cat and kittens. There's not many people that get to do that. Do you even know what I'm talking about?
No.
You haven't seen Tiger King.
No.
Your Netflix game is lacking.
No, I know it is. I heard about it. I heard a lot of talk, a lot of things that are out there that I have not heard about.
So, Coach Turner right here, right there, Rich Mialovich. And pretty soon we're going to be joined by Rohan Robinson. But yeah, this is 20 years in the making for us. It was like 20 years ago that we did this exact same thing for a rich guy and who was way ahead of his time. You remember that?
Wait, of course I do. Way ahead. I don't know if you remember too. I wonder what his son ended up doing, because his son was way more forward looking than I was. He was saying that basically what's happening now with, streaming and entertainment through your TV or wherever you are, he was making that call in 1998. So he was a little ahead of us.
Yeah. We didn't have the bandwidth back then. I'm not a real technical guy, but we didn't have the bandwidth back then.
I was still trying to figure out what the internet was. Well, I was trying to figure out what does anyone need the internet for?
This honestly is, and Coach Robinson's going to join us right here in a second.
Yeah.
This honestly is what we were doing though 20 years ago. Like it really was cutting edge back then.
Totally, completely. It's just everyone had the 28K dial-up, and in order to do the video and everything that we were doing, unlike now, you could pop it up. I mean, I'm sitting in my car, obviously. You could pop it up and pop up video and chat and everything else on a moment's notice. But it was we were ahead of our time.
Let's bring in our friend, okay?
Bring him in.
All right. Coach Robinson.
Hey, what's up, man?
You are live across the world. And you're in Kingston, Jamaica, am I right?
Yes, I am. I am at home. We just started our night curfew for everyone at 8 o'clock. So just come in, cook some dinner, and had dinner while watching the finals, repeat of the finals of ESPN, Kobe and Boston.
Yeah, cool. So you're probably wondering, I think you still recognize me, I hope. You're probably who this other fool is next to you on the screen. This is my friend Rich, who has been involved in the program at the corporate level, getting out and talking to people and trying to get some support here in the States. And Rich and I used to do a sports talk show together. We were just talking about before you came on. This similar kind of format 20 years ago, before anyone was doing it. It was mostly audio back then, but they did try to do some video stuff. It was a little shaky, but it was a lot of fun. So I invited him to join us. So he might, he's on his way to pick up pizza for his family. So
how you doing, Coach Robinson? Nice to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you here too. And thank God for helping out. We need all the help we can.
Very good. Well, I've known Coach Turner since we were both about 13 or 14 years old. So I go way back with him.
Okay.
A long time.
Yeah.
So Coach, I wanted to start this thing just to kind of create some awareness about what we're doing, and also give me something to do during this quarantine time. And I know you mentioned that you guys are have an 8 o'clock curfew, which has got to be something. I mean, I've been down there on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock, and everyone's outside enjoying Jamaican life. So that's got to be unusual. But I couldn't think of anyone better to have on this first episode of this than you, because I mean, you've been doing it for a long, long time.
Long
And,
time.
yeah. So why don't you just kind of tell everybody how long it's been? You've been a player in the program, and now you're a coach. And I've told people before, you know where the bodies are buried. You've been doing this a long time. So just talk a little bit about kind of how it all started for you with the national program.
Well, yeah, basketball basically for me started after I left high school. I left high school, started playing about 19. I got introduced to the game by some old boys at George's, which is at the bottom of my neighborhood. So I got involved with it, fell in love with the sport. In my first year, came second. Sorry, excuse me, rebounding and so forth. So I was like, listen, I've got to add sport. I told my mom, said, this is what I'm gonna do. So she supported me. Um, it's like following year, won the league MVP, and was invited to the national senior program for tryouts. That was where we had for the first time our NBA players who were overseas. Ramir Robinson, who you might have, Ramir Robinson, you might have know of Michigan, who played again Rice, but they won the championship and so forth for Michigan. Two of the guys who were there, and I said I fell in love with it ever since. So I made my first national team at I think in 2000. I went to Barbados for that championship and so forth. So from that time, I've been working with. Retired from the program as a player in 2008 in Olympic qualifiers in Panama City. So we won the double in 2016. Sorry, 2008, 2006 in Jamaica. We won the double and the female and went on to Panama for the central basket. From after that, came back home. I retired from playing for the national team and just went home started coaching. Started coaching with the female team. Took them to the Trinidad for our first tournament. We did very well there in terms of our female program. I've been involved ever since the grade board. For the past couple of years, I've been between both teams, the male and the female team. I'm helping out whatever time I could doing it. You know, going through the program, you see the ups and the downs of the program. Right now, the program is grossly underfunded based on what we want to do. And as you know, you cannot just get ready for a tournament or any championships within a month. It needs years of preparation, months of preparation. We do that, and we know that because it's financial constraint, but we do have some pretty good players who either from young age and it's overseas, playing in JUCO and so forth. And we just couldn't put a team together based on the lack of funding. You have been coming here for almost 20 years, so you have seen what has been going on, and you expressed to me a few times that you really wanted to be involved with the program. I've expressed to them that they should have included you in the program and so forth. So finally they did, and we are just looking forward to whatever the Father says to us right now and bring to us. We are very grateful for it right now.
Yeah, I'm not as grateful as I am. That's for sure. Right. Here, do me a favor. You don't have a great Wi-Fi connection, and I'm not a real technical guy. But why don't you disconnect and then try to reconnect and just see if that's a little better? And maybe it could be just because of the time, and there's a lot of people on the Wi-Fi right now. But let's maybe disconnect and then reconnect and see if that ends
You
up
want me to do the
being
same?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
It's just Rowan's is a little
Coach Robinson, can you hear me okay?
I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. He's gonna disconnect and connect real quick.
I couldn't hardly hear his audio at all.
Yeah. Well, I could make out a lot of it, but most of the story I already know. You know, one of the things that I mentioned a little earlier, he was an outstanding player for Jamaica. And how's that? Is that any better? I don't know. It's a little choppy still. We'll see if we can. Are you there? Coach, talk to me a little bit. I think I heard you. Are you there now? I may have screwed it up. It was better before.
Yeah, I can't hear him either. Yeah. I can't hear you.
It's all right. Here, let's get rid of that. Do this. Scintillating. How's that? Is that any better? Huh. There you go. Are you there? Now I hear you. You there, Coach?
Yeah.
All right, there you are. All right, cool. Hopefully that's not as choppy. So, like I said, you've been involved for a long time. Who were tell me some of your influences coming up in basketball in Jamaica? Like who are the Jamaican basketball players that you looked up to? Not so much NBA guys, but Jamaican guys.
Wow, there's a few. My number one, I could say, our God, as we were talking on Facebook. His name is Clifton Gunashaw. It's for a club named Mustang Tigers. From Alstown, where the university is. University. This to me, he's a god. He's a god. He can dribble, shoot. He's a two guard. He can dribble, shoot with both hands. I remember the first time I seen him play in a game, and he was actually at the free throw line and shooting, and then someone from the crowd said to him to switch hands, and he switched hands and shoot. In 2020. So in 2000 and 2004 when the NBL started, I actually went to look for him, search for him, just for him to be on the team. He was a veteran at that time, so just to actually play with one of my heroes, you know, in the sport. The other guy is Roger Marshall, who's another two guards, also from the Brave Chiefs. That's the name of their team. That's the name of their team. From the army, the army normally has a team. From the army, his name was they call him the Hermit, and I can't remember his correct name, but they call him the Hermit. He was very, very strong. I remember him just controlling the board, and the first foul is from him. Hard foul I ever got from him, where my tooth went through my lip. You know, I was on their boards, and they were wondering. I remember saying to the coach, because eventually the coach after a couple of years, Mr. Harvey, who was one of the former presidents, also coaching the Army team, and I remember seeing him tap him in on the shoulder and going to the game. Who is this youngster? This team who just come into the league on their board and so forth, and he come in. Yeah. And a couple of weeks after they started recruiting me also for the Army team. I didn't go because my mom didn't want me to go. Because my dad yeah, my dad was a soldier also, but he died in the line of duty when I
Uh-huh.
was 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he didn't want me to go. So
Yeah, of
they
course.
several years, yeah. So they tried for several years for that. He was one of my heroes in terms of that. Very tough, and all that what I wanted to be like. Um, Again, another guard. By the name of Sekou Farbs, and from Augustown team, the same thing. Other kid who I playing with, Marlon Dumont again. He was a high flyer, the dunker, you know.
Yeah.
So
No, I remember that name.
yeah, he was a dunker. So he was there's a few others. Andrew Boland again, who is another guard, and there's another guy, David Martin, who was basically, I was saying to them, David Martin was the James Harden of our league. He had that shot from behind his head that you couldn't block, and he was very athletic too. Yeah, he played for Tipper Gardens, and that was one of my toughest companies I played against.
Yeah.
Actually won the league 4 years straight. Won the league, you
What
know.
do you
So
think? But what do you think the state of that is there now in terms of are there guys that young kids can look up to and try to emulate their game after like you did, or do you think it's kids are just getting mostly NBA games and focusing in on that? Where do you think that is? If you're a 13-year-old kid in Jamaica right now, do you have access to see who all the great players are?
well, yes, because the league just started. League just started back in terms of the national league. You have quite a few youngsters right now. Um, Tommy McDonald, Jerome Thomas. You had Ramon Spencer again, that shooter and so forth from there. Um, of um, Kevin, that was his last name was is um, these guys. You have some guys out there who youngsters can look out and look up to right now. But the thing about it is the availability of the venues for the leagues to play. The
Right.
top you can actually see the games. It's not like before where we were playing when we were playing and playing in the NBA where we had the sports and other ways, free to air TV and so forth where they could see the game. Like I said, the league wasn't playing for a while and it just got um, um, resumed the other day, and it's doing well in terms of getting back the talent out there. But in
Mhm.
terms of reaching everyone, we are an issue right there. So we are trying our best right now to utilize the social media platform to reach everyone in a best way we can. But everyone actually try and do their part by coming in and tape even though it's not even a big clip. I mean, it's posted on social media and so forth just so that people see they keep their interest and come out again to see the players that play. On the weekend, in the games have started a little bit earlier because school is a key part of it. So weekend we go back to the format where before summertime you normally have games that start. The game starts first. We start at 10 in the morning in the indoor center
Mhm.
back then. Where on the weekend, so everybody we used to. I remember going in for games and so forth and meeting parents outside and all of those things. I was very, very surprised with how the league had taken off and so forth. It's actually bringing the game to them. Once they see it, they will come out and want to watch the game. So that's one of the issues that we are having now in terms of reaching the fans is based on the social media platform right now. We try our best to make sure that because everybody is on social media.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know if I'm correct in thinking this, but I sort of view you as kind of the Switzerland of basketball in Jamaica? Like everyone, I think, has a high respect for you, and there's always different views on how things should be run, or who's doing what, or who's controlling. And I think you have the ear of a lot of different of those constituencies. Um, I think I'm right about that. So, what do you do when people come to you expressing their frustration about what's happening with basketball? Where's the NBL been for the last 5 years? What do you try to tell people to get them more comfortable about the direction that the program's going?
Well, the first thing I'll say to a few friends, for example, my friend Willa Wilkes and a couple other guys. We have a WhatsApp room where we talk about things. And we're saying we know that things went wrong over the past. The sport that basically lose its momentum because it's one of the fastest growing sport, and we came up with this matter as the former president said, bring a black and not an armor. So whenever persons would ask questions and so forth and share their frustration, basically ask them, what do you intend to do about it, help to fix the situation? Because if each person still comes, this is not go right, this is not go right, this is not go right. What is the solution do you come up with to help the program? What are you going to do about it? Right. What can happen here is that most of the teams and normally look too much to the association to do everything and not help themselves properly. And the as I said, the association also had an issue where they were too exclusive and not inclusive in terms of the opinions of the membership, and that's where into public. Which is from Kingston, that runs the Kingston area. Basketball, we don't really have that problem, but it's on the national level because Southern Conference is very inclusive of everyone. Everyone has their voice, and we sit down and we talk. Where the NBA used to be like that, they be like that. So that is why we went nationally, because we have a discussion that we have. So at one stage it was 12 teams. It was 12 teams, and we said we cannot have a national competition if not running the competition to right over the island. So we know the conferences were weak. The other conferences were weak, and so forth. The time over that contract that we had, we expanded it to 20 teams. It did work. Right now, Mobe has some pretty good teams who actually defeated my team in our first encounter, and they were looking pretty. Yeah, they were looking pretty good with those guys. But as I said before, there's a lot needs to be done, and I always try my best to tell them to do their questions in to the association, also solution also to the problem, because you are out there, you know what used to happen, you see what is not happening now. Speak your mind, come up with a solution, and let's work together.
Well, I won't keep you too much longer, but I wanted to ask you, how did you get turned on to coaching? What was it about it that appealed to you? And because I know you're a really good coach, you've coached young kids, you've coached older kids, older men, older women, boys, girls, everywhere in between. What got you turned on to coaching?
Wow, coaching. The first time I realized that I wanted to be a coach is when I attended the football camp at St. George's, which that's the base of my club, St. George's Slayers, where I met and built and so forth, and that jump ball camp. And when I met Coach Parker, and
Mhm.
we had the camps with the different stations breaking down the game very easily, and their plan and of how they're organized, how they wanted the team versus the coach and all that and so forth. So when I saw that and how the game was being thought and how they did it the way they go by it, I was like, listen, I know what I wanted to do because at that time I was really into refereeing. I was in the top 10 elite referee
Yeah.
in the island. Yeah, that's what I was doing. So I was really into refereeing. I wanted to become a FIFA referee. So I was working real hard for that. But after attending the jump ball camp and gone through the camps and being there assisting and so forth, I realized that this is what I want to do. So that's when I started doing it.
Yeah. We both look pretty young, and we've known each other for 21 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been that long, hasn't it?
Yeah. Time flies. Time flies.
Yeah,
Time flies.
we've seen a lot of things, and we've had a great time over the years doing jump ball and
Mhm.
hopefully, with our fingers crossed,
Mhm.
this virus thing gets finished here soon, and we're able to do jump ball and Star Search and all the other camps that are going on. There's a lot of camps going on now, isn't there?
Mhm. Well, there right now there's no camp right now. It's
But I mean,
the
in the summertime, there's the one in what is that? Treasure Beach. There's the one there. There's
oh you know during
Old
this during the
Marva. And,
summertime. Yes, during the summertime there's quite a few camps now over and some and you have quite a few persons who are actually contacting us right now about putting on camps for the summer. So what they're doing now is basically finalizing the calendar. So this virus situation, this pandemic and so forth, it actually kind of I have to say set back a lot of plans that the summer would have been. Because,
yeah.
we were planning to basically just have camp right through because right through the summer because of in October in August you don't normally have a lot of camps. But I think it's one camp basically in the major camp in August. So
Mm.
we see where there's a need for the end of August to actually have other camps also because at that end you have the kids sitting idle. So that was the hero trying to attack, but basically for this summer for arranging camps for them.
Yeah. So there's some Jamaican kids making waves in college basketball this past year. Do you guys follow that much, or I know that Jamaica is big on the NBA, and I know that
Mhm.
you personally are a big LeBron fan. I know
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? But are the Jamaican kids that are playing in the states like Kofi and Nick and Romaro and Will Butler and guys like that? Do people follow them down there, or is it sort of off the radar?
No, we definitely follow them. Definitely follow them. As I say, in the age of technology now, so it's pretty easy. So Kofi, they must have followed the Kofi and their life. Kofi always putting on stuff. Um, we do Mario. We see all the things that they're doing. Now we have quite a few chat groups and so forth that we speak about them on it and follow them. Kids will know who they are because whenever they come back especially Kofi for the
Right.
summer. He's always around with his brother support and coming to the game. So every chance he gets, he's home doing what he help to promote and inspire the kids
Yeah.
to go back, get an opportunity to, to play overseas.
And he
But they
was
do,
named Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
yes.
And also, I think I saw CBS Sports named him College Freshman of the Year, which is really cool.
Hmm.
And then Nick, I know Nick Richards at Kentucky was first team All SEC,
Hmm.
and I know that Romaro Gill at
Hmm.
Seton Hall was
Hmm.
a big
Defense.
defensive player of the year
Yep.
and most improved player. He had a great year.
Yeah, definitely. He had a great year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like as I said before, it's honestly when we look at these kids, Kofi or Mario or so forth, with most of the kids them know them from camp, um, where their game was. They were just learning the game. I
Right.
remember Romario came. This tall kid, his actual nickname was Twiggy. God was so tall, like that's the actual call him Kofi. Kofi again. Kofi was following his brother. He would never think his brother would, anywhere
Yeah.
his brother is, he would always be there with him and so forth. So it was good. It was good that these kids have an opportunity. And I feel so overwhelmed also whenever I see these kids at that level, doing well and inspiring all these other kids. That there is light at the end of the tunnel. All you have to do is put in hard work. We have to emphasize a lot. I've been doing that about the grades. That it doesn't work that way. You have to make sure that your grades are up there for you to basically access that other part to it. It's not only just a sport.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching these highlights here. It's exciting for the future of Jamaica basketball. That's for sure. And
Mhm. Definitely, because both of them saying that they want to see him in the NBA, and it was a big debate for Kofi and for about a big debate. I was like Mario, they were debating about Mario going into the league. I was like, listen, it's his final year. He's a senior, and it's his final year. So sad that the league and this pandemic happened, for a thing that couldn't play out to
yeah,
see to
guys
see.
that can protect the rim and block shots. There's places for them in the league.
Especially for them, that's what you can see. Based on what is good. I jam a Maggie in the league, as I said before. I was looking at it. I was like, he definitely have a place in the league. When it comes to coach and so forth, we all of the view that we want to see somewhere in the college, and we don't want him to. He can go in the draft, but we don't want him to go in the draft. We want him to play some more. This is our body is want to go play somewhere in the college and get some more experience in terms of that. You will definitely gonna be in the league.
How's the following of the Jamaica Classic been? It's been this is maybe their third year, second year, and they do a college tournament up in Mobay. And has that been well attended and well received?
Yeah, this is their third year. I've been involved with it from day one. This one is the best one so far. It has been growing. They are more inclusive of the association with getting involved with the local body. The schools are organizing a clinic, attaching a coach to each program and so forth. So we see bearing fruit for us because the first year I was invited also to Florida State, by Coach Hamilton. We took a team to play a practice game. The team was doing so well. I had a mixer of youngsters and a few, I think about 4 senior guys for the program. And halftime came and they wanted us to just zone out because they were blowing up. The kids were nervous. We're looking at 7'4". They had this kid, the kid from Africa,
Yeah.
7'4", and I say it was quite intimidating to them. They were big, and they were like 20. I think they were like 20 deep, going in there. So they were a little bit timid. Coach asked me at halftime, I was like, listen, you can play, just ask them to play zone, and So I was like, listen, went back to them and I told them that this is the situation. They want us to play zone man, so I don't feel like we couldn't. So that kind of fired them up. And with that we end up playing them and actually win the quarter. The third quarter we came up 38, 39 for that quarter. We 0 back and said, all right, new game. Yeah, so they did their best and we won that quarter. And but after the game, Coach Hamilton, they won. Came over and basically said was congratulating us and said that based on what he has seen, we have a lot of talent here, and to basically this is a good thing for the island, the classic, and so forth. So the teachers actually see the game and see how it is played, and use we as coaches use as a teaching point for them also. For me, they actually invited me also to Paris State to be an intern a bit, but due to work situation, couldn't go that time.
Yeah.
That time I couldn't go. No, for a fact, it is a big impact because I took all 3 of my high school teams, under 16, under 19, and then females. We took them there to the games. They assisted with transportation and so forth for them, and provided bags and balls and all these things for them. So it's good. This last one is good. So we are looking forward again for this one where there's more room again for more improvement and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's doing well.
Cool. Good. Well, I'm going to try to keep this thing going. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to try to get more people like you that can talk Jamaica basketball and the future of it and the direction and this will give us something to do while we're quarantined and having to be in the house at 8 o'clock at night. And so I'm glad you're able to hook up with me tonight and do this. I appreciate it very much.
No problem. I didn't know how to do anything for the sport to grow on for these kids to get the opportunity that I got basically, because we do need it. We do need it. Sports is, as I said before, I told my friend that with sports, religion, I think, is the 2 most powerful in the world. Yeah. So we unite us to play, you feel good and healthy. So we would that. So I would do anything to promote it and to get these kids help, and it helps balance your life too. The thing you learn from from sports, it also works in your life, also your day-to-day life.
Right. Well, we've got our hands full. We got a lot of work in front of us, don't we?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll do it though.
It's a plan everybody's looking forward to. Definitely looking forward to. I can't wait. When is training? When is the start? When is this? And
Yeah.
We are going through this right now because of the plan that was there. But let's see. If it's God's will, it will happen.
We'll do it. Thanks for doing this. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Thanks,
Take care, man.
Later. All right, I'm bringing back Mianos. Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get the pizza?
Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
good for you.
yeah. And I got to tell you, I could hear you. His audio for me was, I could barely make any of it out. Even when
I
so
know.
now if I was sitting, I could hear you the whole time. Whenever and he talked a lot, but I mean he had a
Yeah.
lot of stuff to say, but I couldn't hear you. I mean I couldn't hear him very well, but I could hear you.
That's all right. We'll work on that. Just wasn't the greatest Wi-Fi connection. Before we go and sign off from this thing, I got to ask you one question.
Yeah.
Kind of a typical Northwesterner, attitude, I guess. Can you believe it? Your Gonzaga Bulldogs were going to get a 1 seed and likely play in Spokane, and then this thing happens.
Well, and it today.
You're
Today
beside
would have been
yourself.
the Final Four, the 2 semifinal games, and I believe it was Minneapolis today.
Would you be there? Would you be in Minneapolis right now? If Gonzaga was there, I mean, obviously you wouldn't if they weren't, but.
If Gonzaga was there, I'd say good chance. I only made it to the final game in 2017 against North Carolina, which was cool. That's just the way that went down. I would say there would have been a good chance I would have been in Minneapolis for this. Could have easily worked probably a work trip into it.
I've just
see some customers out there.
I've talked to multiple Gonzaga people that have said something along the lines of course this happens this year.
No, I don't.
And I had,
The only thing I'll say is that they were going to play in Spokane, which would have been cool for those people. I was not going to go to Spokane. I don't think I had that planned to do. But
oh, really? I figured you were dialed in for that already. No.
If it wasn't, I guess it could have happened. It wasn't imminent. I was talking to my buddy about it. I was. I didn't. And I mean, it's not like I'm being ho hum, but they've had good teams, and this was a good team, and it was a good year because there doesn't seem to be the clear number one. Although I think Kansas was coming into picture a little bit to be that team. But to me, they've been in the tournament a lot of years, and they've had some good teams over the last 4 or 5. Look at last year's team. I mean, that was a team. They lost to Texas Tech, who went to the lost in the final game. And really, if you remember that game, they should have won that game.
That was on last night.
What's that?
That was on last night, I think. I watched.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. I mean, if you remember how that game ended. Anyway, and with Virginia, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to just move forward from all that. Just, it's like everyone's.
Good for you.
So many.
You're a glass half full guy.
Well, I don't know about that. There's just so many. There's so many different people and different things that have happened that it's just there's too many things that have been disrupted. You know what? I heard somebody talking about kids that are 12 that were going to play Little League that don't get their 12-year-old Little League year, which is the majors. And I was like, oh yeah, because my kid was, he's 13 now. But anyhow, so you just are looking at the number of things, and I keep going again. Monday night would have been the national championship. The whole tournament, I've kind of tried to put that aside. I did hear an interview with Few before all of this, which I thought was pretty interesting. It was probably from mid-February, so that none of this stuff had even come out yet. And I guess the one thing for Gonzaga is they got their, in fact, the Tuesday night they got their conference championship in, and it was the next day that everything kind of fell apart with Rudy Gobert conference tournament. It was that Wednesday. I think it was March. Let's call it March 10th. I was going to be leaving the next day to go to Costa Rica. I mean, there's just too much stuff. Everything's shut down. So, I don't know if anyone can take more.
So in a situation like that, what's the guy do? He puts the TVG app on his phone.
Well, I mean, I'm really just trying to keep that in check. But check with me after next weekend. Check with me at the end of April. Check with me on May.
Right, you're accepting.
Check with me on May 4th. Oh God.
Why are the horses?
That's been fun to.
I don't understand that. Why are the horses running still? Just too much money at stake, or?
Well, I think you know what. That's a
I
really
mean, no
good
one
question.
knows,
They
right?
did.
They're running
So
instead
a
of
few of
moving.
them. Hey, Santa Anita shut down, and I think there are some that have shut down. And when you look at it, there's no fans in the stands.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at races in Australia, and also in the States. One or two I've done. I think there's Sweden comes up, and then Japan. But Australia really in the evening. There's no stands in the fans in the stands, and there's no, and all the handlers have masks on.
Oh, really?
Yep, but the jockeys don't seem to. And of course, as you know, it doesn't transmit through animals, so horses are running. And I got to tell you, if you're in the horse racing game, I think it's probably. I'd like to go. It'll be interesting to go back and see what the months of March and April are for them in terms of amount of
Right.
online betting have been. Because
They're getting
I would have
maybe
never even
$2-3 a day out of you, right?
out of me.
Yeah, $2-3 a day, right?
Yeah.
Around
$2.50, $3, yeah, couple. No, honestly, I after the first couple days, I'm like, okay, you gave me the good advice. It's no one's good. There's no one I know that is good at it, and it's just a side thing. So I'm doing a couple bucks here and there.
It's a live sporting event, right?
It's something to watch, and even whatever. And I bet one time today. You saw that was my only bet today, although there's a lot of time left. I was working in the yard. I took 10 minutes, looked at the race at Gulfstream Park, or it could have been Oaklawn, I can't remember, and put my wager in. I showed you, I netted
380.
I bet.
You
well,
bet,
no, I
you bet $4
that
and you made $7.80.
there you go. Yeah. I
Yeah.
made $3.80. I'm on the positive side.
Pays for a slice of that pizza for sure.
Maybe I just keep. Maybe I might run with that.
Yeah, good for you.
At the same time, maybe
I'm gonna let you go. But before I do, I'm just gonna say I look forward to the NFL draft, which is moving forward. They're doing it.
What day is that? Next week?
April 26th, I think.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
The NFL is
it's what? So what's today? The 4th. So it's 22 real days away, and it's 450 quarantine days away.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll do it again.
That'll be like the only real, aside from your horse racing, the only real live sporting event going on. It's going to be humongous. It's going to be great.
This is what I got right here.
Oh, nice. You guys are hungry tonight.
Well,
I think my sister Noelle. Matthew's house.
Oh, I didn't tell you. He was sitting out in the cul-de-sac with some couples a couple weeks ago.
Mask on?
Huh?
Was he 6 feet away, and did he have a mask on?
No, there were no masks yet, but everyone was out there in couples away, and me and my son were riding our bikes by, and he was out there, and they all waved, and so he's hunkered down. He was on Jimmy Kimmel from his living room. Yeah, he's right around the corner. All right, dude, I got to deliver pizzas. Yeah, I like it. We'll do it again.
We'll do it again later. All right. So hope you enjoyed the last 49 minutes or so, and we'll try to do it some more. And like I said, we'll mix in some friends of mine along the way, and we'll talk to some Jamaican people. And if nothing else, we'll have something to do for the next few days or weeks, or hopefully not weeks, but at least a little while. Appreciate you hooking up, and tell people about it, and we'll do this again probably Monday, but stay tuned. I'll let you know. Thanks.